All right.
Yo.
Okay.
What's good, team?
Wow.
This is like a hard-earned episode of the arena.
Every episode of the arena is hard-earned because we spent years in school trying to do this.
That's fair.
All right.
Yep.
Introduce yourselves.
What's good? I'm Janelle. You know me. I study game cheer. Well,
I am Kelly. I am off screen. I study games too.
I'm Eric. What do I study?
Combos.
Today, we're playing arcade games.
2 hours of Pong.
2 hours of Pong.
and nothing but.
Fortunately, we've got other stuff to do.
Uh-huh.
There's like a reset button, I think. If I go to File, Restart the game. Restart to game. F5 or Alt-R. All right. All right.
Is there like any chance to...
Is there... No, it just goes.
This is how Pong works, folks. If
It's
you
been
want,
a
I can
minute,
press
friend.
F2, and we can play this version of Pong.
Holy shit.
Well, we can play this version, or that version, or this version. These are different versions of arcade cabinets. So,
Seems a little unfair,
Today-
this version.
today...
This is the fucking
Like,
version.
this is like grad school
This F-
Pong.
Alright, so, I'm going to control the one on the right.
And what am I
You're
using to control
up and down,
on
baby.
the left? All right.
This shouldn't... Alright, so I'm going to hit F5. I know what you're thinking, audience. What is this? We play competitive games like Pong.
This is
Alright, here we go.
hellish.
This is ridiculous. Damn.
Like, half of these scores are just...
We'll get better, okay? It takes a moment. You think when they first played Pong that they got it really easy?
It's true. Ah!
It really just depends on where it goes.
Yeah.
Like
This
I'm
is about...
getting points because
Wow. Like,
I
why?
win. That's 15 points.
That was just miserable.
Alright, maybe we... Alright, one sec. Maybe the... Oh. Maybe the game speed is too high? No, that's the...
No, I'm pretty sure that's just what it is.
See, here we go. I don't have to
Alright,
move.
we'll just hang out there, I think.
Oh.
Ah!
Huh. Nice.
Look at us go.
How do you keep this score forever?
69.
No!
Look at how much better we're getting. So, why are we playing Pong, Kelly?
Oh, I don't know.
'Cause I enjoy this
definitely-
hellscape.
It's definitely for my entertainment right now. I mean, we could go to the, God, what's the book that Thomas always talks
Alright.
about?
Okay.
Here we go. We win.
Oh my God.
The only winning move is not to play. I wonder if it is moving subtly in one direction that will eventually cause our demise.
We'll find out.
Let's find out.
But there's coin-operated Americans talking about post-war.
Answer yes.
Talking about post-war arcades and different like masculinities based on the arcade environment and kind of ability to be able to perform.
No, that's not why we're playing
I
this
know,
game.
but I want to see how long you would let me go with that.
I mean, I don't think that that's necessarily poor, but we're playing this
No,
because
I
we
know.
play competitive games, and it's Classic Games Month. Games have always been competitive. This is Pong. It is widely regarded as the first video game. It's not actually the first video game, but that's for history nerds. For everyone else, this really is the first video game.
What?
Rude.
Oh my god, this is so infuriating to play.
This is probably worse than the actual Pong. This is the Pong for a specific arcade cabinet that had a bunch of different games in it, and because I couldn't get the OG Pong because Windows, I had to like download a particular emulator of old school. It just goes a little too fast when like
Yeah.
it should start
Oh my
from
God.
like from the far end of the screen, right? Like it should start from where my cursor is when you're gonna get it.
Or like a
Because like
timer
it's
for
not
starting
the
the gun.
worst when we're actually volleying, right? Like this is fine.
This is fine.
This game was originally played on with paddles that you would like rotate to the left and right rather than just
No.
buttons you would press up and down.
No, that sounds bad.
Well, not this maybe game, but
Sure.
I mean the Pong. You know, I really like looked to try to get something more faithful to the original. But now I'm just feeling like I made a big mistake.
No, honestly, this is like the kind of infuriating that I still enjoy. But wow, it's
I mean, there's also something to be said about, like, you know, this would just be, like, if we're talking about more quote-unquote modern games, they'd be like, oh, this is poor game design, why did the devs do this? Whereas, like, this was the best that they could do
Yeah.
at the time.
Like,
no, because original Pong is better than
Well-
this. Yeah, let's make it look more like original Pong. We can go over and we can do tools, and we can do palette editor, and we can take the bright green, and we can turn it into black. Oh, what? This worked earlier today. Maybe I used the wrong green. Maybe
Did you hit
is it
OK
dark green?
or-
yes.
There we go. Look at that. And now we can turn that yellow into a white.
There we go.
Yellow is now white.
Nice.
Okay. And now we're going to turn purple into white. And we'll turn blue into, I think it's bright blue. Or what they label as bright blue.
Yeah.
Into white.
There we go.
And then we'll hit OK. And now we're really
Okay.
playing Pong. Wonder if this will make the game easier. Now I really feel like I'm playing Pong.
I feel like that makes it incrementally easier just because you can see a little better.
This
Loses
is
immediately.
still a big problem. Whatever's happening at the start.
It's like a timer. A game timer would be good. It's like 3, 2, 1, go.
No, that wouldn't help because the problem is that like even if you're in the middle of the screen, you can't always respond to like
Sure.
to where it's coming from. It's like look at these.
Example.
They're like who the fuck is serving? Okay, this is it. This is
it. Oh my God.
14.
This is the moment.
Fuck. All right, Kelly, come in here and play.
Are you sure? I don't think I want to do this.
All right. Oh yeah. All right. So press F5 to start.
But what am I...
U and K will move the right one up and down.
God, one
Oh my
second.
God.
Where the fuck is K?
There.
It's
Okay,
only mine.
ready?
Yeah? Wait, what's up? Oh, there I am.
You guys are already doing better than me. So, we're playing Pong to start today's episode because Pong is the genesis of video games as we know it. And this is a show that's about playing competitive video games. And we can already see many of the hallmarks of what competitive games would become in Pong. In classic, old, silly, mechanical keyboard clicking way too loud.
That's probably
in the thing.
very
So
true.
Go ahead and I'm going to pull back
Why
this.
are you like this?
Chris!
Oh my God.
Oops.
What?
It doesn't even make sense. That's just cruel.
Press F5. And
Oh my God.
Just kill me.
unfortunately, I'm pretty sure the basic Pong had it a little bit better in terms of this. If you press F2, though, you guys could play a different variant.
Nope.
No, this is
So
fine.
the other variant might be even more fun. But anyways, it's interesting how many variants they can make of just classic old Pong.
What?
But, okay, if you guys will indulge me for a second, I will try to explain. Pong is the very first video game. And I think that matters for like the arena and for our understanding of games in general. Because I think that there can be a little bit of a... You guys will not indulge me. That is what I've learned.
I am 100% indulging you. I'm just also dying.
Kelly's the champ.
Kelly is a champ. All right, one more, and then you can either tag in or just keep talking.
But...
Just fuck me, apparently. This is awful.
No.
It's not going to get better, because we're going to be playing arcade games all day.
I just feel like I'm diving like just an unrealistic ball or volleyball move. All right.
Okay.
Found it. Here we go.
Oh, Kelly, I'm sorry, but that was just a jerk move right there.
I just can't sit there.
That was deep breath, like time to actually talk for a moment.
Sorry.
We'll just wait for this to end, and then we'll talk for a second, and then we'll maybe play another round or two. Maybe
I just
play one
didn't
of the
want
Pong
to
variants.
sit still.
You're gonna have to sit still now? Alright. So we can already see in Pong a lot of the things that would come to define esports and competitive games. We've got a score right at the top, keeping track. Name me an esport that doesn't go a certain amount of games that doesn't have a scoreboard in that particular location.
Yeah.
You've got two players pitting off against each other with relatively equal in-game abilities, right? Like, and that's a hallmark of esports, right? Like, if I can pick Moira or Ryu or whatever character, whatever tools I have at my disposal are also the tools that you have at your disposal. Now, there might be in-game, what we call like meta mechanics, like in Counter-Strike, where, yes, you and I can both have the AK-47, but you need to spend money on it, and I won last round, so I can afford the AK-47 or something like that. Or in a game like Dota, where if I pick a Slark, you can't be Slark.
Right.
But overall, you see, like, you know, like scoreboard, you know, same resources available to players. Players being pit off against each other on each side of the screen is a classic way of understanding, you know, like fighting games is like I'm on the left, you're on the right.
The original split screen.
The original split screen, like literally a line down the middle, baby. Resembles Rocket League a little bit in the sense that it's about a traditional sport. It is like it is supposed to be remediating table tennis.
Yeah.
How successfully, who knows?
I suck at both, so it's pretty good.
I was gonna say, I mean, decently successful considering that I'm terrible at table tennis and apparently terrible at this too.
Yes. Well, but I think that there can be an assumption or a feeling among, especially I think lay people, that esports are some sort of new and recent phenomenon. And, you know, to some degree, they're right in terms of like the massive prize pools, or in terms of like something like the Overwatch League, which obviously has a much bigger cultural footprint than, you know, I don't know, us playing Pong and putting down $2 on the game or something like that, right? But we've always been competitive in video games. There hasn't, if we consider Pong to be the genesis of the entire medium, which it isn't, but it is, right? Like it like, you know, it's, what is that? It both is and isn't the thing at the same time, you know. That's philosophy, right? Or whatever.
So J.L. Austin says that if it's real in the implications, then it is real in practice.
Yes. And so Pong is the genesis, and Pong is competitive. Games have always been competitive in this way. And I mean, like, you know, obviously, you know, like, you could be a cowboy throwing playing cards into a 10-gallon hat, right? And that's like playing by yourself or whatever, and just trying to like improve, and that is a game in of itself. Sure. But for the most part, when we think of humanity, games have always been social. It's always been playing with other people. Yeah. And so while the gaming industry definitely has blossomed, in part because games like have diverged outside of what is Pong, right? Like, not all games have to be me versus you. Some games can be me and you. Some games can be just me. But Pong is the starting point. And for this month, where we're going to be exploring classic, quote-unquote, competitive games, Pong makes sense as a starting point, because there is nothing before it.
Yeah.
So, I'll play against Callie for a little bit, and then maybe we'll try one of the other modes out. But you can go ahead, and Janelle's turn to talk.
Nice.
All right. So.
Oh, I'm on the other side.
Like I told Eric, and like seems to be the trend for most things we play on the arena, I have very little experience with classic games, including Pong, which is pretty obvious given how poorly it's doing. But I think that you're right, and I think that, Kelly, what you just pointed out about the implications of a thing making it true in practice, I think would hold and make a lot of sense for thinking about Pong. And other classic games like it. So then I wonder,
It's funny how how winning a point can mean losing more.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys think? Do you, aside from like the scoreboard and the thing in the middle, right, like the things that we've talked about, are there any other ways that we can see how something like Pong or maybe some of the other games we're playing today have kind of worked to shape our understanding of competitive gaming now?
Yes.
1 second.
So, I'm going to channel my inner Malaby here and say performative contingency.
Yup.
Right? So, like, will I be able to move over and hit the ball accurately, right? Like, a lot of times you'll see, like, you know, like there, Kelly got close to hitting it, but she you know, misplayed, so to speak.
Sure.
And so, like, because, you know, obviously, this is really simple, but because the paddle is smaller than the screen on the right, right? There's a performative aspect to whether or not you will succeed in hitting it or returning it to the other player. And so that is, you know, all games, all sports need performative contingency. Even something like poker, right, which we imagine as a game devoid of the kinds of...
I'm trying to, like, get it so I could... There we go.
Poker is a game that we see as maybe like a game of chance or of luck, or Hearthstone, a game which has luck elements, still require, like, we still believe and play these games because we think that there's a performative component to them.
Nice.
Hit F2.
No. What is this?
Hit F5 to start a round.
Parallel paddles.
What?
With no...
Oh, I bet you the ball is probably and white. Let's go ahead and
there you go. Parallel paddles. Ooh.
So this allows for more social contingency.
Huh.
So and performative contingency, right? Because now it's like we've got goalposts, and now you've also got an offensive and a defensive thing, right?
That's interesting. So this is kind of remediating foosball, I think.
Yeah, or ice hockey.
Or ice hockey, yeah.
Or air hockey, rather. Sorry, ice hockey.
What's interesting to me is the ball only hits one way. Like.
Oh yeah. So like it'll go through my cursor if it's going if it's coming on the other side.
So these like different versions that you got, are these all from like some same packet, or was this a popular version of Pong that people
This was an arcade. This is an arcade cabinet called Arcadia or something like that, and I have it. It's emulated on my computer here. So there's like one of the modes is literally just called practice. And that one is just you against a fucking wall. Oh, wow. Which so is definitely practice.
Yeah. That's so interesting. Because I imagine, well, thinking about the way that this specifically works with table tennis as a sport, and...
This is actually way better than the regular Pong that we were playing.
Yeah, this seems pretty cool.
We saved Pong!
We made Pong useful, yay!
Well, it's also nice because, like, one, you get more time to, like, react, but...
Right, that's true.
You also, it's like, right now, I'm trying to base it off the middle paddle rather than my end one, but I'm also failing at it.
Oh, it goes to 8, I guess.
Nice.
Let's see what other ones we got. We've got...
No!
This one, oh, this one is really fun. Just, the only problem is I don't know what color those are. So this is playing Pong in hard mode. So basically, we're playing off of the left side, but once you hit it, then it's my turn to hit it, and I have to go up and like play it. It's weird. Then you got I don't know what, you must be blue.
Oh no.
Maybe not. Maybe this one is just one player. So there's this, which whatever that is. But anyways, we'll jump back to the hockey one that was working. Anyways, what were you saying, Janelle?
I was just thinking about like practice and the way that this is kind of like taking up some
love stuff like that.
Some concepts and like things that you do from sports, and I just find it interesting that it comes with a practice mode. And yes, like this may not be the original or whatever, but I think either way it's pretty cool. And that the idea of practice, I think, inherently kind of invokes the idea of sports or competitive play in general, which is kind of interesting to just kind of have that be a mode that is just something that is expected that you'll do if you're just practicing against yourself. This also seems a lot more challenging than the other, but not not in like the kind of silly way that the other one was challenging.
I think it offers more opportunity for us to relate because like now I got this paddle right in front of your face, and so like a couple of times I've caught Kelly where what I'll do is I'll put my paddle in between
like that.
like there where like I'll like basically I almost borrow on the assumption that Kelly will think that it won't go through my paddle, right? And that was how I actually tricked you like on one of the first goals I got with that, right? So that's like an example of social contingency, right? Like, you know, based on why did we go above 8 now?
I don't know.
Maybe it's going to 15.
Maybe it's like weird tennis rules where if the other person is like a certain amount of close. Wow.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Get wrecked, me.
Oof. Also, one of you has 3 and the other has 2. I just noticed that.
3 what?
3 paddles.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you have 3?
I don't know. I'm not using them
do
right.
I have a paddle? I gotta try to hit. That's red. No, I wouldn't have a paddle that's red. Have you always had 3 paddles?
Yeah.
I think so.
What? How? All right,
Doesn't matter.
We hit the restart button. You still have. Okay, wait. So I don't think I have one in the middle. That's interesting. Why are we uneven?
Yeah, you just have a goalie and a forward.
Well, they are different in where they land in the screen, right? So
Yeah, they are.
And it's not like Kelly's middle paddle is at all useful. Like,
I mean, I just scored 1 goal off of it while you said that. I'm just not useful.
no, I just, you know, I guess it is pretty useful because you can block the middle ground. Never mind. It's less useful than my 2. It's not like you have the most useful paddle, right? The most useful is definitely the defender, and the second most useful is probably the offensive one. Because if you can like predict where the opponent's gonna toss it, like that.
Yeah.
But
that was rough.
That was pretty rough. That was pretty rough.
Here,
Did not think
come
that
on,
was
join in, Janelle.
Yep.
Okay.
I'll get chat.
Oh.
Alright.
No, you can keep playing.
No.
I want to take a little water.
No.
Alright, so this is 3 paddles. Okay. Why are these plates here?
So it's Kelly's turn to talk.
Okay.
Yep. No, it's interesting because like just something like up and down, like just the very kind of basic mechanics still invoke something competitive where like even if you're trying not to like just friendly competition, not get too into it, sometimes you just still go like, oh fuck,
This is just
like
not resetting.
so there's still aspects I was gonna say where you get into it, you know, because you're so close, or maybe you learned just learning about the 3 paddles, and you know, my first thought is like, is it like the coin in Hearthstone where if you go second, you get the coin to compensate,
so
whereas
you
like
win.
I think it's when it bounces off of the edge, it like freaks out, like it doesn't know what to do, and like I think it maybe doesn't think that someone has scored.
Whereas like you might have like a less advantageous paddle mark set, but I mean literally the panels are mirrored, with the exception of the extra black one.
Yeah.
This is hard mode. This is like handicap, right? Like the player in the middle has like an extra paddle to do stuff with.
But it's also because of the placement really only so effective. At least, and maybe that's just secretly because I suck. It's not much of a secret.
No,
but
I don't feel like that middle black paddle does all that much, even though every now and again it does have like a little bright moment.
Like there.
Yeah.
Ah.
Oh wow.
Nice.
Thank you, game.
Based.
No. And like, I think that your point about the coin is really cool. And if this were perhaps a more equitable system where like there was a logic to where the puck, I'm calling it a puck, whatever, where the puck comes from, then I think that it would really have an effect, like who goes first or who serves, right? I think that would totally change the mechanic. In this case, it feels very much like it's
accidental, like wherever it's coming from and wherever it's going,
Yeah.
it feels very randomized. So I don't know how much of an effect it really has.
Yeah.
Or at least
The game is
maybe
on
a
the line for
controllable
me now.
effect.
Ooh.
I'm also thinking a lot about the one story that Malaby told us about betting in Greece, where they were betting whether or not there was an even or odd number of orange slices in something. And it's just like, you know, like, oh yes, it's our nature to, like, quote unquote bet, but like, also, like, we turn everything into a game.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know? So even if it's just like, oh, I'm bad at this, I wonder how, like, sorry, Eric, to invoke poor use of metagaming, but, like, let's say that, like, I'm just beefing it all the time, and maybe what I want to do is actually just see how many times I can hit the ball, or if I could get it and, you know, get it to go up, you know, and start getting some more control over it. Even if I'm not winning the game, I'm getting better at a specific aspect of the game. So there's also, like, plenty to do with that. Like, can I make this middle paddle useful?
Yeah.
Oop, see that? It
I
bounces
think
off
it's something with that.
the goalpost, and then the game's like, no.
Yeah. That's definitely something that.
Hey, someone talking to
Yeah.
us. Hello.
Oh, I know who that is.
Yo.
Hello. Why aren't you here?
Is that Daniel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Daniel's like, yeah. Oh my god, I'm so glad I missed. You're not even playing Street Fighter.
He always says it's so intense.
I mean, this is pretty intense.
But
like,
it is.
it is really intense. I think in part because, at least for me, part of what's enjoyable about playing a game like this is figuring out how it works.
Mm-hmm.
And then figuring out how I can maybe translate the way that it works into something that I'm more familiar with, and then apply those strategies and thoughts and figure out, like, okay, cool, so this is how I can play the game. Because I'm not familiar with this really at all.
Mm-hmm.
But there are plenty of things like it that I'm familiar with, and I can tap into that knowledge and say, okay, cool, so even if using U and K to move makes 0 sense,
Yeah.
I still understand the basic kind of goal here, and I can apply that.
Mm-hmm.
Do I do it well? I don't know.
What time is it, Kelly?
It is 2:32.
All right. We'll move on from Pong in a little bit.
Yeah.
No!
But it's funny, this is actually the only truly multiplayer game we're going to be playing today. A game where two players control things against each other at the same time. But I think Pong does one other thing quite well, and you have to forgive me because I just wrote a 20-page paper where this was one of the major premises of the thesis. But this is spectacle. And it's spectacle in, like, in a really pure sense of the word, too. Because it's like... It's like you have to imagine yourself. Imagine if you had like you've been around cinema and TV your whole life, all right? Like, and the most control you've ever had over this what is on the screen is your ability to change the channel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now imagine somebody shows this to you, right? And it's like, hey, I got this paddle that you can turn and you will manipulate like the little box on the screen, right?
Yeah.
Like people that's spectacle, right? That's like there's something stimulating about it, and it's weird. Even going back and playing this 50, it was, let's see, game invented in the early 70s, so about 50 years
Holy shit.
since Pong was first came out. What is that? Holy shit!
No, 150 years. 2, Janelle just staying there and just
It really just worked.
Scoring herself.
But like 50 years post like Pong coming out, it's still stimulating, right? It's still attractive to like to play. Like it's not as in depth as like the wild like League of Legends and the whatever we have. Oh fuck, nice. All right, you guys want to do one round against each other, and then
No.
you guys haven't played double paddle.
That's
yet.
true. Do you want the 3 paddles? I haven't
No,
played
no,
in the
it's
2
all good.
paddles.
I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to be less competitive, and this is making it hard for me to not be less competitive.
Do you want to switch and you do 3 paddle and I do 2 paddle? Okay.
No, it's been 30 minutes. We hit the escape button.
And then we say, oh god, now
We
what?
play MAME64.exe. All right, we've got 3 games here.
Nice.
I'm gonna swap over to
yeah.
you to start.
God, Joust.
I don't know if we'll be able to get Joust to work. Joust
That's
is being really finicky.
Mm.
But Miss Pac-Man and Donkey Kong are not. So what I want to do is we'll just take turns playing Donkey Kong and Miss Pac-Man, and we'll be going for high scores. All right, because this is another way people competed to play games during the arcade era, right? It wasn't just playing Pong against each other. And in fact, before fighting games, before Street Fighter, there was Donkey Kong, there was Galaga, there was Asteroids, right?
I love Galaga so much.
I know.
Actually, I should.
Gatorade.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna start with Miss Pac-Man because it's
Here's something
simpler.
that we might want to talk about in terms of
Look, 288 by
what's the word I'm
224s.
looking for? Maybe assemblage, but just sort of the thing that we play on. Because pretty much I was able to beat my mom's high score. I got a really good score on Galaga on my mom's arcade game.
Mm-hmm.
Now I go to an arcade here, and it operates. I mean, the controls are all the same, but the ratio of the screen is different, so I can anticipate things as well.
Yeah.
What's it called? The joystick, and the buttons, aren't always as responsive. That's not to say, it's more responsive, it's just it's different.
Yeah.
So I wonder.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Get back here. Your time is to die.
Like
I'm not gonna go for that cherry. Get murdered by it. So I'll eventually have to get those. Ooh, they're coming for me.
Yeah, they got your number. You're right. Like the technological kind of challenges that come with playing games technology.
And not even just on our technology, but it's just like, let's just say you go to 2 different arcades, and one button is, slower or faster than what you're used to.
Yeah.
And that throws off your ability to play the game to your full capacity.
Mm-hmm.
And then how does that, when we talk about the formative contingencies, your ability is no greater or worse than it was in the time over.
Yeah.
But because of the particular model of the
Probably not. But I'll give it a shot.
Maybe. Hey, got him.
Can you... Oh, that pink one's coming. Ah! They're faster than me? Was that what was going on? Oh, shit.
Oh, no. Answer, yes, they are. They do seem just a tad faster than you.
Oh, God. So I no longer have the ability to...
Oh.
This is a dangerous place.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay, that's my first life.
Yeah, that's
though,
not bad,
so...
though. So, Kelly, do you see what you were just describing as the same as or very different from the experience that you might have playing on someone else's device? Like, for example, the settings that I have when I play Destiny or Rum Rail at home, very different from what's set up here, and the technology that I have is also very
Pac-Man
different.
and Miss Pac-Man me. We're playing Miss Pac-Man, by the way. Miss Pac-Man is better than... It's
Correct.
cool. I mean, I'd rather be a girl yellow circle.
100%. This is like my mom's favorite video game.
Not as extreme as that because you can change the settings.
That's true,
back to what it
yeah.
is, but then you could also consider not so much because I feel like with arcades with different response times on the controls, that's different.
What?
That's different from just not being quite as used to say the color scheme that someone has.
Sure,
or
yeah.
Kind of the aspect ratio of your TV.
Yeah.
I'm used to a large one in my living room, and now we're playing on like the bedroom TV. Or
Sure,
something like
yeah.
that. Or I mean, so there are differences, but I think there was a more mental than physical. But that's not to say like mental differences are like huge. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I really would love to. I'm sure there's a paper out there, but I haven't read it. Just about like I mean, there's like the home team advantage, like
Yeah.
something like that. But right now with esports, where there's not so much a home team.
Sure.
It depends on the game.
Yeah, it depends on the game. Overwatch League is trying to make that or commodify that now.
So like they're actually the same speed as you. The difference is that when you hit a corner, if you don't turn, yes.
Whew.
There's definitely a satisfying feeling that all those little dots. It's like you're cleaning. That's why Miss Pac-Man is better than Pac-Man, right?
Oh
Like
my God.
men don't clean.
Oh my God. Oh, okay, good.
I'm not gonna make it. little time I have to eat them.
Yeah. That also feels like less time than I remember having playing AB Pac-Man.
The score now. Oh gosh.
You're gonna win?
So,
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
one thing that's interesting, there have been some academic studies on home field advantage, and one of the biggest things that the study I read found was that the most important thing about home field advantage is actually that you get more favorable ref calls.
Yeah.
No, blue. No, Inky!
Ooh!
My God.
Wow!
I'm making the next
Clutch
level,
play.
Holy shit.
That was wild.
yes.
Beautiful.
So, when you say favorable ref calls, do you remember, what sport they were talking about in that?
I think it was American football. Do I have another life, or is that it?
That's your last one.
Okay. So...
Gunning for you.
Yeah.
The AI is, I guess, is supposedly different for each one. Some will red is random. I should really go for that apple. I should not have turned. Turning there was bad. Okay, that's me. I got 19970.
Okay.
Now you guys have to beat that. So I'm gonna put a bunch of credits in. Oh no.
Oh.
No.
What is that?
That's the paletting. You can switch the palettes. Well, there's 4 credits in there, so it should be good. I think F1 will start the game, and then it's just arrow keys.
All right. You want to go?
Nope.
Okay. All right. It's been a minute since Pac-Man.
If it's not F1, it's just 1. Yep, just 1. Oh, and then it means 4 is putting in a quarter.
I know. Hello? Okay.
The game was just messing with you.
Could you stop being so cute?
Wait, are you starting from where I ended?
I don't know.
You are. You are starting from where
So, does this pick... I don't know.
I can reset it, though.
Might need to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just, level select.
Alright, hit the escape button.
That's adorable.
Alright, now hit the
That
enter
is pretty
button.
adorable.
It should be, and then hit enter one more time.
Okay.
God, I love Glitchy Emulator so much.
I don't know what that is exactly, but so you want to do, it's 1 and 4. So you want to do 4 to add credits in, or
Is
5 maybe.
Okay.
There we go. So you can add in a bunch if you want. Oh, you get an additional Pac-Man at 10,000. But that's
okay.
I had gotten that already.
Okay.
So then you press just 1 to enter.
Okay.
There we go. Alright, so we'll have to do that each time, but no big deal. So, what were you guys just talking about?
We were talking about the home field advantage that you mentioned.
Oh, yeah. I find it interesting. That's a weird place to start when we're talking about something like Miss Pac-Man. Because, on one hand, I totally get what you mean in terms of, I go over to my friend's house and play on the PS2 and they give me the shitty controller, right? And now it's I'm not able to fully do
Oh.
Come on.
They were gunning for you.
Yeah.
But not even so much just in terms of what's it called? The quality and the functionality of the materials that you're playing with. But also, that was rude. But just kind of the mental space of this is my zone. This is where I play games. This is where I'm comfortable playing games, and this is where I always play games. So therefore,
Tricky Janelle.
No! Misclick. Oh.
But sort of more of the mental aspect of the quote-unquote home field advantage, because that was rude.
Okay.
Nice.
can analyze like what is mixed Pac-Man, and you know like what is important about the way the gameplay features and like what's going on just in the screen right here. But to some degree, so 6860, hey,
Alright,
that's not
alright.
bad.
Because, like, the other thing is, like, if I was playing Miss Pac-Man in my house, like, I'd be like, okay, I'm okay to, like, I would be
You wanna
playing
press
to...
4, or actually, we should just do the escape
maybe-
thing, and then,
Okay.
and then enter, and then you press 5 or 4, 5 to put in a coin once you get there, and then you press 1 to start.
Okay. Like, I would be playing at home to, like, learn how to play the game rather than,
Rather than like the competitive nature of like, I want to keep playing, I don't get to keep playing if I lose.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's less of an opportunity. But that is better, right? That's the experience of being in the arcade, right? It's like, you don't get to pick, you know, if somebody's behind you, you gotta, or whatever. So there's always that kind of pressure. It makes it performative, like, and not just...
this is bad.
Kelly, did you read my combo paper yet? It's okay.
Not yet.
It's like, because in my thing, I argue that combos are performative in 2 ways. One, there's they're performatively contingent, like on, you know, you're not guaranteed to skip. But they're also performative in the sense of like, you're putting on a performance when you do a combo. And it's kind of the same thing with playing an arcade game to a lesser degree, right? Or maybe not to a lesser degree. But it's sort of a contingency of how long you can play. But there's also a performative contingency, or not a contingency, but a performative aspect, there you go, that is like someone watching you and you like, and you know, and getting enjoyment out of the way that you move Miss Pac-Man around. I like how we kind of upgraded from Pong, which is like a one-dimensional game where you can only move right up and down, to now a two-dimensional game where you can move left and right.
Yeah. It's cool because, like, really, it's Pac-Man is a maze, right? That's really all that
It is a maze, because the goal isn't to get out.
That's, yeah, I guess the map is really more rules. I guess what I mean is more that, like, the space itself is laid out like a maze.
Yeah, it's labyrinthian.
It is labyrinthian, yeah. So while maybe the objective thing with maze is to get out, the objective here is to figure out how to navigate it effectively.
So how is this competitive?
God, I hate...
I feel like the core competitive element is when you make it competitive with the high scores. Because that's where the kind of social competition comes in. And
By the
I
way,
know... Huh?
You're now in last place.
Oh, that's 0% shock.
It gives you a little moment of reprieve here, right? Like, they meet.
How cute.
And it's like, you want to see what happens next? You gotta eat some more pills.
Christ.
Is that what these are?
That's all
Unclear. Pac-Man food?
I just remember watching my mom play so much with her Pac-Man. I want to die. There we go. I got my wish.
I think you still...
Sounds like you
That's
just nailed it.
Yep,
All right, I
that's
guess
my editing.
I'll go again. Kelly, you can just sit next to me here.
Okay.
Do you want to just hang out there?
And all right, so I'll go ahead and just put my thing in, and we'll see what happens when I just.
To be fair, my goal is to hear that again.
Yeah.
I just love that little intro thing. It's like the opposite of when you play a game so many times that you could mock the final bosses, like monologue before you.
Ooh. So, Kelly, I'm thinking of your... What?
I got stuck on the corner.
Yo, wow.
Get
Thinking
over
of
here.
your sound paper. For me, a lot of the nostalgia for arcade games comes from and that's, you know, 100% in part because I was very bad at arcade games.
So you
Heard
heard
the
it a
music
lot.
frequently heard the
Oh,
starting
rip.
music for Galaga. But that, I feel like, is such a nostalgia element. Like that
Very.
really pleasing music.
No.
It's like, I don't know if there's something there that's useful for you, but just thinking about, kind of like our reaction to these individual oral elements. Like, if I hear the Galaga theme song, even if I'm not playing, in my head that means I'm watching someone play, and that's fun too.
So,
There's also it was for a different paper I wrote for Stewart, but talking about the evolution of game music. Because a lot of early game music was just kind of like these cheap little MIDI bits mimicking classical music.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of just I don't want to use remediating. Just transposing from an acoustic instrument to something different.
I think transposing is something.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Inky. Sometimes you can't resign yourself to die. You have to hope that Inky is just gonna be an idiot like he always is.
Begging on fucking.
Nice. Whew. What was I gonna say? But yeah, so like this is kind of, even though this is, original music, this is in the era of games where they were just kind of copying little beeps and boops versions of like Beethoven's Fifth or, and then, and then it was like I want to say like early 90s where they started really,
Don't fucking
really getting into like,
They got another life.
Well.
Toodaloo.
Toodaloo, motherfucker.
So I just finished playing the Hotel Chapter of Celeste yesterday. So for me, getting chased
That wasn't.
by ghosts,
I meant to do what I did. I just am stupid.
So you're saying that?
No, you're fine. Getting chased by various ghosts feels very apt right now.
You finished it, right? So yeah.
I finished that chapter. I haven't finished the game yet. I'm challenging it to do a chapter a day.
Nice.
So I can
It's about an hour to.
about an hour per chapter at least.
Nope.
That was gonna be bad no matter what.
All right. We got this. We
That
have
was
two.
rough.
We still have two big balls left. So this should not be difficult. Come on over here.
How hardcore would it be if you could just go into their house?
Yum yum.
It's like
Time to gorge.
like an anteater into like an actor, just slurping off everything. You are on now.
Pretzel. What's a pretzel? 700 points, baby. See you later. You zig and I zag.
Out of there.
Alright. Okay, so I go this way. Inky, you fucker! Okay. Damn it! Inky! Let's see. Alright, so 19970 still stands.
Alright.
Alright, Chad, if you got any questions, let us know. We're having a good time. We're playing some. We'll see. Hopefully it doesn't do the thing it did before. Yeah, see, now it's doing great. Good job. You figured it out, game.
Alright, so this might be just kind of like a dumb question.
Unlikely.
But like, the fancy word that starts with S that Malby uses.
Stochastic
Thank you,
consistency.
that one. All of these have an algorithm, and each ghost has its own flavor of moves, but it's never always going to be, when this happens, that is the result. So, like, would you consider this the same kind of contingency?
Well, for one, there's a difference between our played experience and the actual experience, the actual code, right? So, for instance, maybe I know that, like, I actually believe, if I'm correct, and I'm not sure, that Inky moves randomly. Like, Inky legit doesn't, like, know what the fuck he's doing. Alright? But then, like, red and pink and orange, I'm pretty sure, like, legit just move. They move on a pattern. Understanding pattern. I'm looking it up right now. Game internals. Alright. So, common elements. Each is programmed with a different personality. Come on. So like sort of basic ghost. Holy crap! This is someone's entire thesis statement. I just want to know it. So like the red ghost starts outside the house, and usually the first one to be seen is a threat. If he makes a beeline for Pac-Man, that is Blinky. So that red is Blinky. He's referred to in the game describes his personality as Shadow. No, they all have personalities in the original Japanese game. Like the cabinet, is like Shadow red is Shadow. This is Oikake or the pursuer chaser. Both descriptions are accurate. Blinky's target tile and chasing mode is defined as Pac-Man's current tile. So Blinky, the red.
Nice.
So Blinky, the red ghost, will always be moving towards wherever you are. Whatever the shortest path is to you is where he will move. Even though Blinky's targeting method is very simple, he does have one idiosyncrasy that the other ghosts do not. At 2 defined points in each level, based on the number of dots remaining, his speed increases by 5%.
What a punk.
And his behavior in scatter mode, because then what the ghost will do is they'll be in scatter mode for like 5 seconds, and then they'll go into chase mode for 7 seconds. The pink ghost is known as Speedy, and as the ambusher. He does not actually move faster than the other ghosts, but his targeting scheme attempts to move him to the place where Pac-Man is going instead of where he currently is. So Pinky's target tile in chase mode is determined by looking at Pac-Man's current position and end position, and then selecting the location 4 tiles straight ahead of Pac-Man. So, again, if you don't know though, Pinky might seem random, right? Alright, the blue ghost is named Inky, and remains inside the ghost house for a short time in the first level, until Pac-Man is consumed at least 30 times. Inky is known as whimsical, or bashful. Inky is difficult to predict because he's the only one of the ghosts that uses a factor other than Pac-Man's position presentation when determining target tile. Inky actually uses both Pac-Man's positioning and facing, as well as Blinky's. To locate Inky's target, oh wow! So you must locate. Oh,
Shit.
You made it! Yay! That's 18,000. You can do it. You got this. It's not difficult to get this last little bit and beat me up. Oh, it is though.
Well,
just
you know.
Don't pick up the big dot.
It's fine.
You got this.
This is fine.
So even Inky is not. So stochastic contingency is like literally rolling dice, right? Yeah. But even Inky isn't actually random. He bases his position on where the red ghost is, and then where Pac-Man is.
No!
Inky!
I was too early!
And you did beat me though.
What did you have?
I had 197, I think. 00. 19770. So 19910 is now the record to beat, Kelly. Good luck.
Oh my god, that was so
And then the orange ghost.
I can guarantee you I
Clyde.
won't.
Clyde is also known as Pokey, or feigning ignorance.
This is so complex.
As typical for Japanese version is more accurate. Since Clyde's targeting method can give the impression that he is just doing his own thing without concerning himself with Pac-Man at all. The unique feature of Clyde's targeting is that he has 2 separate modes, which he constantly switches back and forth based on his proximity to Pac-Man. When Clyde needs to determine his target tile, he first calculates the distance to Pac-Man. If he's further than 8 tiles away, his targeting is identical to Blinky's.
Oh.
So he's just another Blinky, which is that means chasing where Pac-Man currently is. If he is further, as soon as the distance is less than 8 tiles, Clyde's target is set to the same tile as is fixed one in scatter mode, just outside the bottom of the frame image. Thus, whenever you get close to orange, he becomes unpredictable. So he chases you until he gets close, and then he just will randomly move towards the bottom left corner, I guess. And so
It's not very effective.
well, maybe it is because you're expecting him to chase you, right?
That's true. And then yeah.
I was hoping
You...
to go the other way.
Anyways, so, but if you don't know all this stuff, right? Then it just seems like maybe Inky just moves randomly, right?
Yeah.
Or that you can't determine where the ghosts are gonna be. And so, like, that's strategy. But I think in terms of lived experience, right? They are stochastic. Like Inky is a stochastic individual because you can't always predict where he's going to be unless you really know the game's mechanics down to a T.
Well.
Yup.
So, I wonder then, because that is all very complicated, and I would never have known that had not done so. Is it then possible to read all these ghosts as like maybe an element that you're competing against? I hesitate to say it because I have my own reservations on why that might not really be true. But
Play another one. That was pretty quick.
I don't know. I don't want it.
Okay.
Nope.
I don't know. To some degree, I don't think so, because that would be like saying I'm competing against Sephiroth when I'm playing Final Fantasy VII. Thank you, Ryan, for playing that earlier this morning.
I gotta get the demo.
No. That's terrible advice. Don't look at me.
Okay. It's not as bad as being told to do. I'm not saying it's bad advice, I just don't like bad advice.
Wow. I got it. That evasion is pretty intense.
Too intense.
But that.
What are you doing, Donkey?
Yeah, nothing. Nice. Oh boy.
They're coming for me, but
They have you now. So I also hesitate to say that you're really competing against the ghost because it doesn't necessarily feel that way, but the fact that they all have like their own kind of specific mechanics, and they all function differently, but it's not just common knowledge that like at one point the game explains to you, Linky does this, and this one's an asshole.
they do have personality though that they tell you, like, this one's bashful.
Where do they tell you that in game?
It's like it's in the arcade cabinet, or maybe it's in the pregame stuff. Yeah, it is in some kind of hair text.
Okay.
So,
I don't know.
like,
Yeah.
how much, but then let me throw this out. Like, I know that games are pretty much always competitive, but sometimes there's someone who's just like, let's say you're just playing against someone who is playing a game for the first time and doesn't really understand that they're going to be competition yet. Now, I'm not saying that it's going to last a long time, but I'm just saying, like, I can guarantee you that there's just some person that's like, whoa, this is great, let me try it, and they play it, and it's not a competitive nature. But then, and they get A scored. Maybe it's the first, this is way too much of a contingency, so they just get a score, and then someone comes in and it's like, alright, I'm gonna beat that. I'm just gonna beat whatever the first person got. So, like, where do we draw the line with competitive, with that, and, like, competing against? Like, the ghosts aren't, you know, like, they do not have, like, sentience and feeling, I'm competing against this player. I'm doing this thing. There's no...
Do all games need to have not all games need to feel competitive. At the very least, you're always competing against yourself because there's a score, right? So you may just say, like, you may compare your score against...
social competition is what I'm looking.
Yeah, but I think I see kind of what you mean, and that's kind of what I was trying to get at too. It's almost like because of the way that the ghosts work, they emulate social competition because they could be read as different players and so I feel like in the situation you just described, where it's like someone playing the game for the first time and has maybe no like cultural basis for it being like a long-standing competitive kind of game.
Eminem plays.
Sure.
I think Eminem might be into Donkey Kong.
But I feel like in that case, then the ghosts do kind of fulfill that, where you don't have the kind of social interaction, you do have it with the ghosts. Who are effectively, I mean, just as complex, right? Like, they have the same kind of constraints that you do. They can only move in the maze as you do.
Nice way of putting it. Way to use constraints in a perfect way.
Here we do that.
Nice. Now, what I would love is for one person to be playing Pac-Man at the same time, so not playing Goblin and just constantly changing the rules.
would be really dumb.
Inky, you G. I could have died there, but Inky was like, nah, I got you.
Thanks, bro. Inky doing a sweet solid. So the Pac-Man that I had as a kid was one that my mom bought for herself. Which is really silly. It was one of those plug and play little things, and boy was it terrible.
Yep.
Like the functionality on it was just miserable.
Like on.
Oh, that was an easy one to avoid.
Hey, high score.
Oh yeah, we broke 20.
This is actually saying about getting good.
Yeah.
I want the pretzel. Give me the pretzel. I will skirt death. I'm gonna eat you. You will not escape. Okay, but then which one is it? Okay, that's Blinky. Or Inky. Okay.
Oh,
what is the or Clyde is the one who like moves away from you when you get close.
He just got a little scared. He's really not sure why, and neither am I. Why are the ghosts fighting me? Clyde's like, I don't really want to be a ghost. Look at that. He ran away from you.
Yeah.
He turned right the fuck
If
around.
I had done, I bet you I could have avoided Clyde there. Anyways.
I'm just not sure about this game. But we'll play along.
Clyde.
Clyde's like, oh no!
It really does help that they. Oh, whoa! Look at how little time I have. I might have time to get into. Okay. Shoot.
Oh.
Shoot. All right. We got to 25. Let's see if we can get to 30 with our last life. I can't remember what the pink one's name is. They're so fast. You have to like outwit them once, and then the later parts.
Like, not only are they really fast, but the amount of time that you have
Clyde.
is like, Clyde, what are you doing?
Nice.
Yes! I think we get to Act 2 now, right? The chase. Oh, Miss Pac-Man is chasing Pac-Man. Yes. Oh, no, now Pac-Man's chasing Miss Pac-Man. Let's flip the gender norms, people. Yeah, that's good. You can't stand men who chase women. But women who chase men, go for it. Oh, now we got a new color scheme.
Oh my god, there's a pair at risk here. A pair
I get that pair. Oh, that's Inky, so he's not getting over here anytime soon. Okay. Oh, this is gonna be dangerous. Okay. I did it only because I knew I would get 30K. I was like, 30K is the shirt if I grab that pair. All right, so that'll be my last round. But you two both have one round left. Yes. Then we pour Donkey Kong. I'm gonna fill my water bottle. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Here we go. Alright. I get way too intense, I think. This is just Pac-Man. Turn right the fuck around. Right, goodbye.
So nice when they just feed into your.
I know. It's like, this wasn't my plan. Oh no!
Rip.
I was too impatient. I just resigned myself to death.
Oh no!
That's pretty apt right now.
Oh, you got extra lives.
Well, it's fine.
5,000 on the nose.
Oh, that's true.
That's satisfying.
I find the emotional computing for high scores to be interesting. It's like a way of measure. It's like an objective way of measuring how well someone is.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because no, I mean it doesn't matter if it's a good objective way. It is an objective way, right? Like so how well you played is how far you got, how many dots you played, or how many ghosts you did, right? And to some degree it rewards performatively contingent actions, such as trying to eat as many ghosts as possible, which requires the taking of risks. And so, while we can argue that maybe we could imagine a more impressive game under certain circumstances, you know what I mean, that has a lower score than something because of maybe the way someone manipulated the text before or something like that. But it still represents a kind of like a way of like trying to objectively show like it's a numerical display of how talented the player is. Or how good the runs in particular is. He's in pursuit mode right now.
No!
And he just completely slowed down. He's like, man, never mind.
Yeah,
I think that's called the scatter mode or whatever. Right?
Oh, okay.
They only pursue for like 20 seconds and maybe 5 seconds of scattering.
This is such a terrible spot to be in. No!
Oh,
Yeah,
you need to get the.
you have to hit the corners too. Oh, it's so hard.
Oh boy.
All
right. Only 9,000 to go.
There you go.
Alright, pretzel. Bring it.
Oh,
I thought you were leaving because of who you are.
Clyde,
you betrayed me. Alright, here you go. Pro tip, don't trust Clyde.
Mhm.
He will betray you.
What is it? Ah. That's
5
not-
and then 1.
You know what?
put in a bunch of quarters. Okay, you can't do this too.
Yep,
You erased my top score.
it's okay. I'll get over it.
I love this. Just such a good way to start.
So the two primary ways that I can see that these kind of arcade games as being competitive. One is in the fact that there's a limited resource at play, and that is playing time, right? And also quarters. So, but playing time more particularly when you're imagining something in the arcade, there's only one act or mission.
I was hoping that you would go the other way, sir.
Clyde?
Yeah.
So remember, I think he just goes for the bottom left corner. So if you are in between him and the bottom left corner, even though when you're close, you'll end up getting in the way.
I see.
Makes sense.
But it's funny, now that I've explained it a little bit, you're like less scared of some of them, and that leads to like your own death, right? Like, why? I thought you wouldn't do this. So you just imagine them all to be like pursuing you to the highest degree, right? You wouldn't have made that mistake.
Yeah.
It's the quiet ones you gotta watch out for.
The bashful ones. Who were, quote, feign ignorance in the original Japanese.
Nice.
Yeah, I think the game's like really forgiving, because that happened to me a couple times too, right?
Oh!
Rip. It's all good. I'm gonna use the bathroom.
All right,
right.
let's switch to Donkey Kong, a much more difficult game.
Yeah.
But anyway, so it's competitive in terms of like the time that you put into the game, like because like I'm competing against you, like I want to play for 40 minutes of this hour, so if I can play twice as long as you can play. Oh, they call I think they have female names in this one because the orange one was named Sue.
Huh.
But now we have to watch the computer play the game. All right. So now we'll jump over to Donkey Kong.
Cool.
So, slightly. So then I insert a coin and I'll press 1. In this game, I think there's only jump and move. So, control is jump.
Control is jump.
It's interesting how even from the 3 games we played today, I should not have started this while still making that my thing about the competitive. It's Mario. No. Alright, I was trying to get on that second ladder. I like how he has a little halo. Like, Mario was such an angel.
He was so good. He gets to go to
I literally don't even have a score at this point.
Is that 7,650 you?
I don't think so.
So you get points for jumping over the barrels?
Yes. I always remember playing this game as a kid and thinking that the controls were pretty stiff.
They look pretty stiff. I think in many ways it's just like the kind of pixelation. Wow. Honestly, Mario, you could have seen that there was a very easy getaway there.
It's interesting how that first level is so iconic. And like, what is that? What's gonna happen when I get up here?
Yeah.
That's a death?
Oh.
What is it?
Interesting. Well, I guess you did fall from...
Do I need to collapse like all of them, or like collapse the thing by stepping on these?
Maybe.
Is that what I mean?
Oh, that's interesting. Huh. Oh, but then you fall and die. Huh.
Yeah. Is that it? Okay, you're up.
That's interesting. Okay, cool.
So, they're competitive because you're playing for time, but they're also
Alright, do you
competitive
want your-
because you're
do you want
playing...
your name in
Oh
here?
yeah, and look, this was something that wasn't in the
Here.
last one. Oh, it's only 3 letters.
always.
My wife's name. And then 1? 5?
Maybe end?
Register time, it's counting down, so we've got that.
Oh, okay.
But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, none of those worked, so.
Okay. Your name was registered. Alright, so how do I switch to just one player?
Just press 1, I think, and you'll, yep.
Okay. So control to jump. Not D-pad. Okay.
So they're competitive in terms of getting the high score, competitive in terms of time played, and competitive in the sense of like performing the game in a beautiful way and like trying to impress the people who are watching you. That's one of the interesting things about arcades to me is that like so that will destroy the things, but you also can no longer climb the ladders while you have them.
Interesting.
Also, if I'm not mistaken, if it gets in between, like it's possible, like at least this happened at one arcade that I played at, where like the hammer would be on the upstroke when a barrel came in, and I would get hit by the barrel.
That's annoying.
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, you don't know which of the ladders the barrel will go under. At least I can't tell. Maybe again we might be able to look up and be like the inky barrel.
You fool, as it turns out.
I just love that theme. And what makes me think of Super Smash Brothers, where as soon as someone got the hammer, everyone scattered. That's so rude.
2 in a row, bro. That's ice cold. Feels pretty bad.
Yeah. But I'm also interested interested in like how representation like has quickly changed because like I want to look up the dates of these games, but we're playing them in chronological order. Gotta watch out for that. All right, Kelly's up.
I didn't even see that.
I know.
So Pong.
Brutal.
Pong is 1972. I'm just going with Pac-Man because Miss Pac-Man is better, but it is also it is the same game as Pac-Man.
Yeah.
1979 and 1980 in North America, and then Donkey Kong is the game Donkey Kong 1981. So we can see an evolution from like both in terms of graphical fidelity, but also in terms of representation, right? Like we're playing as a yellow pizza, you know, and in our initial.
How do you jump?
Control.
Oops.
Not right control, sorry. You get a pass, you get a total, you get another 3 lives after this now. Because like nobody even explained to you the rules.
True.
So you probably won't want your hand on the control button.
Left control.
Okay.
Kill the fire.
Do you kill the fire?
We'll find out. Yep.
Get out of my house.
800 points. Oh god.
That was satisfying.
That was pretty good.
Ripperoni.
But we can see like now you've got like, you know, King Kong obviously is a huge inspiration on this game, and you got technically that's Paula, I think the female in Donkey Kong. It's not Princess Peach if I recall correctly.
Where would I go?
Characters. Mario.
Nice.
Obviously. Originally titled Jumpman.
Jumpman. This is catchier.
Actually, I want you.
Pauline. Incidentally, if you know the game Super Mario Odyssey, Pauline is the mayor of
I tried to
New
jump.
Donk City.
Oh,
Which-
what?
New Donk City. Beautiful.
That's
Do
amazing.
you want another round?
No.
Okay. You have to put in your
Gotta
name
put your
now.
name in.
Control the select letter.
I
Oh
don't
my
think-
god, the classic
Wow.
A.
Okay, now what?
We couldn't really figure it out.
Yeah, we
enough.
just waited until the register time went away.
Yeah.
I did not score enough to get
You
my
didn't
name
get
on
in the
there.
top 5, so.
Sure didn't.
Well, why isn't Deb there anymore? I thought.
It'd be dead.
It might have. Was that your score?
Did
No,
you
right?
restart the game when you started Donkey Kong?
Nope.
Huh.
Not that I remember.
But yeah, so now we have like now we have something of representation. It's like you are, you know, it may be problematic in terms of history of the United States, but I mean that smile. But you know, you're not playing as like a person who runs and jumps and moves and.
What? Oh,
That is
up
rude.
hammer. That's just.
What is this feeling? Like I want to die.
As someone in grad school, I feel like I can readily and frequently identify that feeling.
Well, I might end up with that classic 0-0-0 score at this rate.
Been there.
There's a bonus you can see up in the top right for completing the level. Alright, so if I jump
Winky,
here...
it seems.
Yeah, it's like the bonus keeps going down. Oh, you just can't jump at all, right? Okay.
Yeah, that hammer is just.
Okay.
The hammer will not fit your backpack.
I got 400 points. You're up, Janelle.
Alright,
That's better than 0 points.
that's true.
I've always found Donkey Kong to be a really difficult game.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just... Alright, I just
Okay.
wanted to add some credits in.
Alright. I also find Donkey Kong incredibly difficult.
It's interesting how he destroys the map. Like it's kind of like it's kind of interesting in just in like a sense of like the other games we were playing were all straight lines, right? And then this game, and I don't think it's the first one, right? But like in terms of it's like looks, the straight lines are used to in the arcade. Psych. Like.
But I also love that like it's still technically all straight lines. They just move it off by a couple pixels.
Yeah.
Careful
Wow.
with the hammer.
Right.
You
Wow.
won't always have it.
That was so rude.
That was just honestly just You know what? Fuck you, hammer. I don't need you.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Is like the hammer is almost like bad for you.
Straight up curse. No.
I think you probably could have
I
just
should've just
laid it on the
stayed.
ladder. and
Yeah.
hoped
Should have
it
just
didn't-
stayed.
Didn't get you.
Yeah.
You beat my score from last round.
He looks like he's trying so hard to get over there. Like I really
I know
sympathize.
Just moving and going nowhere fast.
That is not the way you're supposed to jump over a barrel. It's interesting how Nintendo.
It only counts as one.
That's what
Some
I'm
of them
feeling.
just don't count as jumping over a barrel. Gets you to continue progressing to the level.
Nice save.
Oh no. Those are
I was just
really
gonna-
far apart.
Just go.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't get a
No.
running jump with this motherfucker.
Nope. All right,
Okay.
got a sweet 1700. All right, guys. New goal is get on the scoreboard.
Get on the scoreboard.
Just get on the scoreboard.
I was on it once.
How did it feel? So
I'm the
good.
only one to make it to the second level.
That's true. That's why the first level's so iconic. Takes 900 years to finish.
But yeah, Nintendo was obviously able to parlay the success of Donkey Kong into an entire media franchise, right? That is like their flagship title for their entire company.
That's true.
Nice play.
So then, is this like the first Donkey Kong thing ever? Is this the first Mario thing ever?
Yes, to both.
Good gamble.
Seems like they're unlikely to take the wow, fucking styling, Kelly.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Christ.
This part gets
Aw.
that part gets tricky.
I know, I
You
was
have to
trying
wait
to
for him
get
to
you.
throw a barrel straight down, because sometimes he does it, and or to like blow off on that ladder there. Otherwise, you just have to wait next to that ladder for like
Yeah.
the
No.
Is there any kind of pattern to how he throws things?
Good question. Kelly, you noped right out of there.
Yeah.
It's a sweet hell no.
That was 300 points to get those two. So
The second time I did that, it gave me 300.
Aw. See those?
That running jump.
did you press
I
up
pressed
to
up.
to try to jump, and you grabbed the thing? Yep.
Yep.
Classic.
Well, first I tried to press up to go up the thing, but apparently I was like a pixel too far over. Oop.
That fear
I
jump.
know.
No. Please no.
Yeah, we'll get there. Too soon.
No.
I was looking at that one like a fool.
Glad.
Yo.
Oh, this game's fucking hard.
I know.
So,
I feel like DK could just leave the ladder down.
have
Honestly.
you guys seen the documentary King of Kong?
No.
No.
It is quite good, and it is also about like trying to achieve the high score in Donkey Kong, and it's like about these two players who were competing against each other for like years. No, it's dumb. Okay. No. Okay.
Oh, that little
Go, go,
fire
go, go.
sprite needs to get right out of my life.
Get-
Oh.
Nice.
Ooh. Get it?
I can still remember the feeling of doing that for the first time in my life when I was a child.
And then she just gets.
I made it.
Yo.
All right, so I think I have no clue what the fuck is going on here. Let me just be honest.
I think it's what you said, where you have to like destroy the support beams, which is kind of interesting.
This is like almost more Pac-Man-y because those are kind of like ghosts.
Oh, so they just kind of. Oh, okay, no, they do.
Oh, that's rude.
So
does it reset?
Yeah, it does.
Oh, brutal.
How high can you get? Like the game is just taunting you.
Yeah, wow.
I don't get this purse. What is this?
No purse for you. Oh.
I don't know how I picked that up.
Just walk back and forth.
Eventually we'll pick it up.
I assume I can't run into Donkey Kong. So, ooh, this is... Oh, I was hoping that I... Oh, God.
Oh, boy.
So now I have to make the long trek, because you can't go through the gap.
You can't jump over it?
Oh my God, you are the smartest person I've ever met.
It'd be really embarrassing if it didn't work.
Don't you stupid fireball.
Can you get the hammer?
I can.
I don't know how much it'll help
Beat
you.
'em up.
It's like, actually, you're
Beat 'em
completely
up.
safe there until like one of those up top decides to come down.
Hey.
It's funny, you're not saying anything either. Magical reconstruction for true love. Very good.
Yay.
Wait, now we're back to this? What?
That doesn't seem right.
And now.
Oh, now. Oh. Are they faster?
It is possible.
They seem faster.
I love the swag jump.
It's so good. No style points.
Oh my God, there
Just
was...
honestly, just give up and run right into it.
I should have like went for the ladder and went down on it.
Yeah.
Hope that they went over me. I think. Yeah, let's now
Yeah,
look.
level
L
2.
equals 2. Yeah.
Huh.
If you,
Yeah, I mean that's a different beginning where it kind of goes diagonally. Yeah, they seem more like now they don't have to use the ladders,
there's a lot coming. Oh gosh.
oh boy. Oh no! There was nothing you could do.
Christ.
So it's interesting. So then the way that it makes it more difficult for this next, I guess, different level that's the same level.
Oh no! Oh no!
Is by removing.
You have to be holding right or else you can't make it. Okay, continue. Sorry.
No, you're fine. So like it removes like the one certainty, which is that the barrels will use the ladders.
They are using them sometimes.
They are using them sometimes, but now they don't have to.
Nice.
No.
Hey, broke 10,000.
Shoot. I noped out of there and then.
Watch the fire.
Fire.
You! What a barrel! You totally crushed me, barrel. You did it! You did it!
Oh hey, there you go.
I have 4 initials, so I can't
Can
do this.
you move to end?
Oh.
Only in theory.
Is down a command? I can't move down right now.
Okay.
That is hysterical.
Wow.
I'm gonna actually unplug it and plug it back in just in case, because we want to be able to move down, right?
It might just be in this, like in the
It might.
thing.
Yeah, probably. All right. Someone else is up.
Incredible.
Okay. Most stressful game on earth.
It is 3:34. So that was my last Donkey Kong, and you guys can each have your one, and then.
Is it 1 to start?
Yeah.
No.
I'm worried that this is completely disconnected. Now try. Okay, 1 sec. I'm gonna go ahead and now hit enter. All right. So I think because I unplugged it and plugged it back
Okay.
in, that it was like, "What are you doing?"
There we go. Okay.
So. But yeah, King of Kong. I'm gonna look it up on my phone and I'll describe it to you guys a little bit. King of Kong is got some interesting elements to it. But it's like it really is a love letter to this early era of gaming.
As soon as you see the flame.
I saw that fire and I was like, no. Go home. Yep.
Yeah, it's specifically about the battle between Steve
Oh, boy.
Weeb.
Oh man,
Weeba.
Oh shit.
that is.
Ah, there was nothing. There was nothing I could possibly. DK, that was kind of a dick move,
I
bro.
have to say, like this is a dickish game.
Come here. Come here. I dare you. Yeah, that's what I thought. Nice try.
Nice.
Donkey Kong High Score Competition has its own page on Wikipedia.
Just watch out for some ladder.
Can you take a break, buddy? No. Okay, thanks anyway. Thank you for considering.
Yeah, Eminem's high score is 465,000, which is within the top 30 over in the world. So he's a huge fan of this game.
Can we watch a run of Eminem playing?
I need that in my life.
They're very long runs. But yeah, we're gonna once you get done with your last run, Kelly, we'll switch over to watching some.
Get me
runs.
away from this game.
Uh-huh.
The world record is 1.25
Oh, that might be just
million.
computer playing.
Yeah, I was like,
Hit 5. There you go. And now 1.
I just saw the barrels go. I was like, no.
Kong Off is a yearly annual competitive tournament.
Oh my god, tell me that Eminem is in it.
I don't think so.
I just find that really silly.
I'm in your portion. Fuck that flame.
Flame is a shit.
The hammer's such a bait.
It really is.
Oh, the swag jump, Kelly! Oh my god, the swag jump!
2 for 2.
That wasn't a real swag jump.
Oh.
You are the queen of the swag, but
Yeah, get
want this.
right the fuck out of that situation. Is this called, what?
so I think you would like want to not be moving forward when it gets within your range because then
you're
the
constantly
hitbox of the
moving.
hammer doesn't
Yeah.
hit right in front
Yeah.
of you.
I'm gonna try not with.
Nice. It's funny when you're actually trying to avoid them, like in terms of like when they're a level above you, they seem to be moving so slow.
Mm-hmm.
Like you like feel like you have so much time to like go back down the ladder. Oh my gosh, Kelly. It looks like you're like just swagging, like you're just
I'm
like,
just like
yeah.
not even sweating it.
What?
Oh no!
The swag jump killed you. You still have one more life though.
Death by
I know.
swaggy jump.
I just
By
want that
swag.
hammer so I can chill
Interestingly,
in
I
the
think
top
that the
right.
second level is easier than the first two, right?
I
So
would
it's
agree
like,
with that, yeah.
Not because maybe not necessarily, but I mean like I was able to get it on my second or third try,
Yeah.
right? Whereas I was still failing this in like later tries, even after I had succeeded it.
Yeah, I mean, and maybe the difficulty of this level is why they put you right back after you finish that other one. Just because the other one has like a methodical kind of logical, if you do this, like X number of times, break whatever barrier or whatever you have to step on. Like that's a pretty simple, straightforward
Yeah.
objective. What gets complicated is
It's
dodging
kinda
the fire
Alright.
or not falling and things, but this is so...
Nice. That's ballsy, Kelly.
Oh!
Ah, so mad. Oh well.
This is like so randomized that there's no way to do it aside from just being really good. I don't know.
All right, we'll go ahead.
Get good.
Hashtag get good.
I'll go ahead and grab onto. All right, we'll go ahead and world record Donkey Kong. It is probably very, very long. It is 3 hours and 42 minutes long. You guys want to watch it all?
No.
So obviously it doesn't start
No.
here. It looks like... I don't know, this is... I think,
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
so...
So 7650 seems to just be
We'll
the
go ahead
score
and...
that's
I'm going to go ahead and put
there.
it in ×2 speed for it.
Yeah.
How horrifying. DK in ×2 speed. Those barrels. No.
Ooh.
What?
Well, see, the thing is,
Oh,
it starts
that's
getting
interesting.
gamey, right? Like, you have to get the high score, and there's a kill screen eventually. You guys know what a kill screen is in an arcade game?
No, probably not.
A kill screen is in a game is like once you get to a certain levels, like the levels won't continually always progress. But typically, what's interesting about these games is that the kill screen, what it is it's like this weird like it'll usually be like a glitched out thing where the game is like either can't comprehend the high score that you're doing, or the game can't. So here I think he's like trying to get as much points as possible, right?
Going back for more. Oh. He just got like.
But when the
400
I think when the bonus runs out, right? You can't stay here forever and get the points because when that bonus runs out, you like lose a life, I think. Or maybe not, or maybe you just stop.
You probably just stopped gaining it.
Yeah.
I'd love to know how he picked that up so fast.
I love the swag jump.
What an interesting order to do it in.
It looks like the ghosts change color when you're in hammer mode.
Yeah.
That's definitely not borrowed from some other game.
No idea which game you might be referring to.
Well, I mean, obviously none, right?
None.
This
No
has
game.
never been in a game before.
No. A what? On a blue and yellow.
What
screen?
is this?
What?
He's getting 100 points for every jump because it's counting him as like jumping over Donkey Kong or something.
Yeah.
What?
So it's
He
interesting.
just sat there for a while too.
Yeah. So it's interesting to note that on the right-hand side, we can actually see, I think, a video feed of the arcade cabinet, right? And on the middle, we actually have like the live like output of the screen. So then he does this again. Let's see. I was like jump to like. So then we go back to. Ooh, the internet's not very good today.
Hello, we are joined
Hi.
Who
by
is?
Race Nerd.
Well,
Stream
all right.
who
So
is?
now let's jump into a classic example. Oh, that was dumb of me. Oh, I'm like off the internet right now. But
Ripperoni.
1 sec. This shouldn't be too hard.
Man, UWM Wi-Fi is like. Are you having fun?
No.
Good. Courtesy of the UWM Wi-Fi.
It was
Yep.
working at one point. We were just watching Donkey Kong.
I think one of my favorite parts of that previous video is the fact that there's a lion in it for seemingly no reason.
Yep.
Okay, so I need to like forget UWM Visitor because it keeps trying to connect to that and messing up the UWM Wi-Fi.
So
And-
Race Nerd is asking if we have watched the movie Pixels.
No.
Starring Adam Sandler.
Oh,
Unfortunately,
no,
I
I
have
have
not
not.
seen this movie. Not a big Adam Sandler fan.
I'm like an old school Adam Sandler fan.
But it's, it is a movie that, it is. Oh, I'm glad you like it. It is a love letter for sure, right, to these kinds of games that we've been playing today.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Especially one game in particular. No idea which one it might be.
Getting something yellow in my head right now.
I wonder why.
It's got Pac-Man. I think it's got like everything. So here we've got just stills right now. That's all we've got because
God.
why is it? It's like full bars, and then the moment you want to connect to it, it's like never mind.
Yeah.
Nice try.
People at home are like, wait, how are you even streaming if you're not connected to the internet?
Oh, you know.
We have our ways. All right, let's.
It's called witchcraft. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Edgerome. How do you sign into Edgerome?
Oh,
God.
All right. What?
What?
There's a key for. There's no key
no,
for
there
visitor.
isn't.
No, it is. It's
there
oh
is.
shoot. It's like
I'll
it's
find it.
it's like
Panthers 10.
Panthers 10 or something like that. No, you
That
can.
is not very secure.
No, it's the visitor line,
know.
right? It's not supposed to be secure. No, we just broadcast it live to
Yeah.
the world.
Don't worry, I think I might have given them.
But do you play a lot of arcade games? If so, how do you feel about them? Do you compete? Do you try to get a high score? Do you compete against other people? What is your relationship to them? So, but for our last little bit, I was planning on watching some videos. in theory, the regular computer should be.
It should, yeah.
All right. Well, no. You don't do anything. So.
Race Nerd plays them for fun. I'll just move.
Oh, no,
Goodbye.
You just literally don't have to do nothing. Oh, I unplugged
Oh,
the
no.
wrong one. Oh no.
Oh no.
Ripperoni.
Okay.
Okay, no, it's green. Everything is fine.
All right.
Ah.
And then we'll sign in here.
I'll move.
Oh, you're right.
Kelly's just Queen of getting in the way. Oh,
Yo.
Oh,
wait.
different one.
Yeah, this one. And then.
Yeah. Set that station way. Do you want me to sign in? 'Cause I was
Yes,
already in.
yes, because I don't have the mouse plugged in currently.
This is incredible.
This is
I'm just gonna sit.
This is just a time. All right, there we go.
All right, okay. So now we can go to YouTube, and we can look at the Nintendo World Champ. Oh, fuck
Oh my
off,
God.
Mike.
Get away.
Nintendo.
Get
Oh,
actually
World
far away from
Championship.
I
me.
need to show you a meme.
Maybe and
Please
okay,
be
so
like
this is just a video from what type of 2006 YouTube is this? What is this?
Oh my God.
Google
why?
Chrome isn't your default browser? Well, fuck off. YouTube's gonna look like this from now on. They're really fun. So here we've got the Nintendo 1990 Nintendo World Championships, which was actually all NES games. It really wasn't arcadey, but it's still what?
Nothing.
Did you show her the meme or
Yeah.
what? Okay.
Mhm.
So this is just like clips
God.
from the event, but like you see like the excitement, right? Again, we've always been competitive. Like this shit was happening in 1990 at Universal Studios.
Oh, yeah.
90 competitors, 30 in each age group.
Christ.
Tim Ross,
Oh my
18 and
God.
over. Donna Thomas,
That's a lot of over.
11 and under. It's because 12 to 17.
I was gonna say if you're 12 to 17, fuck you. You
Yeah.
can't compete.
And so
Oh,
now
wow.
the final rounds.
This
Only
is
21
beautiful.
players remain.
So
It's-
where in 1990 am I watching this?
That's a good question. I think we can find that out on Wikipedia.
Please say TV.
So, jump to 1990. All right. So, originally began in 1990 at Fair Parks in Dallas, Texas. 29 cities across the U.S. Finalists won a trophy, $250 whole dollars, and a trip to the World Finals at
Okay.
Universal Studios. The World Finals were here, conducted similarly to the City Championships.
And
Oh,
now
no, in the
Shrek
start-
4D.
Yep.
Christ.
I like how now the internet's working on that,
Yeah,
by the
of
way.
course.
So then they dropped it, right? It was not around
Oh,
Until
that's wild.
2016.
till 2015,
Or-
yeah, and then they did it
What?
again in 2017.
Oh, that's so interesting. But
Um,
it seems like there might have been other things in the meantime.
Like
No.
one of the 11 unders is like, shit, it's
there
my
was
time to
nothing in
shine
the
again.
meantime. There was no Nintendo World Championships, at least.
Or at least maybe not called Nintendo World Championship, but there was
also-
like a 1994 or something at the bottom.
I love
Oh.
their dedication to keeping the
Power Fest.
the really like vintage logo. Just
Yeah.
go back.
It's so good. Okay.
It's interesting.
Interesting. So there was.
Ken Griffey Jr. was a game that they played.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
In 2017, they did Mario Maker as like the final thing, which is pretty neat.
Interesting.
Oh,
and Breath of the Wild
where did you see?
in
Brett?
2017.
Play select game modes and levels from these games. Yeah, it looks like it.
Huh.
But suffice to say, like, I just want to show this to show like that there were even like the spectacle, like in
Yeah.
an arena, people holding up trophies back in like 1990, and I find that could be kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Now let me go ahead and pull up something that is more recent. What? How do you know? This is literally the video I was looking for.
Wow,
Oh.
YouTube. Could you not? I
Wait.
feel too seen.
Why is
All right.
Obama?
Because this is a like Bloomberg commercial.
Yeah.
90% sure.
I'm so glad I'm not in New York
Bloomberg,
for
stop
this.
paying your fucking money.
so glad what?
All right,
I'm so glad I'm
so
not in New York for this.
I can't even
to round out our discussion today, I think it could be useful to kind of discuss a more contemporary competition that still plays a classic game, which is Tetris. Now I don't know if you guys are familiar with Tetris competitions. Are you?
No.
Okay, that's
You
fine.
can see by my expression that I have never seen something like this before.
So this is a competition to get a high score in the original NES Tetris. Note it is 42 minutes long.
That is unbelievable.
But you play against players and you have to like, it's like you're going for a high score and like there's like a tournament weekend and there's a Tetris World Championships every single year. The guy on the right is the 7-time champ. He's a really nice guy, from what I understand. And then we got 16-year-old underdog. I think his name is Joseph something, but Jonas and Joseph. I guess if you have a J name, you're golden.
All right, cool.
And so what's interesting is that this competition is still alive and well now, right? Like people still want to play these old games, to some degree. Like, and this, like, just to know.
Just waiting for that
drought.
long piece.
Voice you hear,
And there it is. Boom, Tetris for Jonas, and boom, Tetris for Joseph, right?
Was James Chan, who commentates like professional Street Fighter 5 at like Evo and stuff. So it's not. Wow. So this isn't like some like it is niche, but it's not some like hyper niche like nobody is ever like I think that I don't know what this thing on the right is. That's not their lines.
Maybe how many rows they've deleted.
No, because that's up here. Lines.
Oh yeah.
But we'll skip over to near the end. Whoa. Okay, actually, this is not as long as a video, so it's not just the competition. But here, like the things are falling even faster, right? And fuck off.
Oh my god.
Mike. Okay. I can't. As part of my role in Serious Play, I don't think I can endorse political candidates, but I can say that these mic ads are really annoying.
Yes, confirmed. Group consensus. Oh my god, this is insane. So, like, I knew that there was a very active Tetris competitive scene. I've never like taken the time to actually watch it. My only kind of exposure to it is an Overwatch streamer that I really like that plays for the Philly Fusion. Okay. When he's waiting for matches, this is how he practices his speed. He just plays this online.
He plays Tetris online?
Mm-hmm.
That's neat.
Oof. You could tell. You beat it.
So now note, he's still up though. He's up by 100,000. So even though
he's gotta go.
So the faster it goes. So one thing that's interesting about the game is that you can hold right to like move the thing from left to right. But what happens is that when you're holding the stick from left to right, like there's like it'll move one, I think, and then there's a delay between when it will start moving again. Like it's like 6 frames. But when it's moving this fast, you actually can't do it. So you're seeing now like he's actually having to manually input each right or left, right? He can't hold it. So like
wow.
So he won there. And then the thing is with Tetris competitions, it's not necessarily getting like the highest high score ever, right?
Sure.
You just have to beat the other person. So once you've taken them out, and then like you see the emotions and like the
I mean that got so sweaty.
Yeah.
Like I'm sorry, that got just really intense. You could see he was breathing so fast.
Yeah.
And the other guy was very disappointed, but also seeming a little proud, which doesn't often happen.
Yeah.
And they get these Tetris blocks, second place. Imagine being able to hang that up in your closet.
This is a closet where I store all my Tetris trophies, and they just slot together.
There
oh
is
my God.
Let me hear.
Sometimes for fun, you drop one from the sky.
We don't have much time, but I just want to note if you guys are interested. I think this video, my experience at the classic Tetris World Championship, which is a little long, it's 53 minutes, is really good. Like this guy, awesome. He like learned about the thing, and he decided like he would like spend a year and try to compete in the championship and like log like what happened in the year.
Yeah.
Also, it's crazy, but you think like a game is so old that like like nothing can change, but. Just this week in NES Tetris, the highest level ever achieved was Reddit's search function is so shit. Okay, Tetris 99. I know. I want to only search on show results from speedrun. All right, and then just this week. Oh no, I guess it was. Okay, I'm sorry that I don't remember everything perfectly, guys. Stop making fun of me. So this is Joseph again, I think. This is the first ever level 34, and so we'll see.
Really?
Yeah. So like So like the thing is, like the game gets so fast that like you don't have any time to do anything, right? And so like because it gets so fast, like it's like unlike the kill screens where we saw in the other games, where like if the game just goes on a certain amount of time, and like he's obviously really let's see the installation.
Woo! 284. 284. Oh yes.
So
oh
guys,
my
he's
god.
really happy, but it's interesting how like NES Tetris, like let's look it up, came out in 1984, right? So this is 26 years after. No human being had ever made it to level 34 until 2 weeks ago, right? And so it's crazy to like think like these classic games don't just reside in like our historical consciousness, right? Mm-hmm. They are still being changed and manipulated and improved upon today.
Yeah. How did he get to level 34? Because I just, from my limited Tetris experience, saw him hit the top, and I thought that means that you lose.
He did.
Yeah.
At the very end. This was all level 34. When he hit the green.
Level 34.
This is the first time anyone ever made level 34.
So it says level OA.
Yeah, I think that's 34, right? Because
okay.
like the game is like never
it's like
thought that anyone would. Oh, no, this is it. 14, right? 34. It's probably like 14 levels above.
Because like in Dr. Mario, it's a similar thing.
Maybe it's not 14. We'll see what happens.
Because then it turns dark green, right?
15.
Level 28.
It must be this level 28. I bet you they may have started on.
Oh my god! Oh yes! Oh! Woo! 284. 284! Oh yes!
So technically.
Oh my god!
Yeah. So like.
Oh my.
It's just crazy. Like the first ever level 34 happened 2 weeks ago. Let's see what the comments on Reddit are. I knew this would be Joseph before even looking. Wow. Last year's first ever level 33 was 1 year prior.
Thanks, dude.
And it's Joseph again, right?
Again.
Like
the BR Battle Royale.
Oh, okay. I see.
That's at the very end. Okay.
Okay, honey. Wow.
Oh, okay. What a time to join.
Yes! Yes! Oh my gosh! Oh my goodness! 33!
So
I think both times like, oh my gosh, and it says that.
I mean, what else are you gonna say?
I know, but I just want a compilation of him continuously beating his own thing and just saying the level that he.
Yeah. So after level 29, the level display is no longer accurate, but you can still count the level of numbered changes.
I see.
Is the game opened up or computer ran where player know how many levels are far? I believe the task shows the game eventually circles back to 0 after 255. So if he can do that,
that's wild.
Only 220 more times, he can reset to 0 and just keep playing the game infinitely.
Oh, that's crazy, man. So, in effect, does that make Tetris an unbeatable game?
Well, it depends on what beating it means, right? If beating it means, like what we saw here, right? Like, between Korean and, this says 11 million views, by the way.
That's crazy. 2018. That's wild. And
at least when we watched it, Bloomberg had to pay whoever uploaded this money, right? But right, this said like, fuck, what was the question? What the heck were we talking about?
We were talking about whether or not it's beatable.
Oh yeah, like, like Joseph beating Jonas, right? Like that is in a sense beating the game. Mm-hmm. But you're right. There's no like, oh yes, this is the moment that I have dreamt of.
Like completed Tetris.
Yeah, I beat Tetris.
The credits.
Right? Yeah.
The joke is that they didn't even bother putting in credits.
Yeah,
no
I mean, maybe they're just like in the if you just leave the start screen on too long.
What a face to pause on.
Yeah, like what's the situation here? So one thing that's super interesting that the first thing that I was like, okay, that's weird, is the way that he's holding his controller and playing. Like Joseph.
Yeah.
Versus so Joseph is part of so basically I think Jonas is like an old school player, so he just plays the way you normally would.
Yeah.
But Joseph is like a lot of the Japanese players play like he does because and it's actually interesting. Watch the documentary that the YouTube video I was telling you about because in it they explain this all in much better detail than I could. But basically, even back in the 1990s. Like when they played Tetris at the Nintendo World Championships, like they had discovered that you could move it faster left and right by tapping it multiple times.
Interesting.
It's a lot faster to tap it like this than it is to try to do it like this.
Yeah.
And that's why Jonas does that.
That is really interesting. And I mean, we see that even now with just the way that players use controllers, like some professional FPS esports
Joseph
players.
is so emotional when he plays.
I know.
It's really cute. I sympathize. I understand. But it's the same kind of deal where you see some FPS players will like tilt their keyboard so it's vertical.
Oh yeah, I do that too. I don't do the full thing, but I'll do it's like not just straight along with the computer when I'm playing typically.
There's a really cool, I'm pretty sure it's Vox, a really cool Vox video that talks about why we use WASD for things.
WASD.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, why we use WASD.
WASD is, I don't know if I've ever heard that word spoken out loud. But
that is what I've always called it. But the reason apparently is just a group of people back in the day started using that, figured out that was a kind of logical way to move, and then once games started letting you adjust your key bindings, that just became very popular. Just kind of accident, and now it's the default.
Well, that's our show for today. We played some classic arcade games. We enjoyed watching some videos online, and we hopefully you learned something.
And then next week I'm pulling up the list. I don't know why.
Oh, that's not in any particular order, so there isn't a schedule yet for what we're playing next week. But we'll be continuing to play classic games all month, like games presumably released before what we would call the contemporary era of esports. Probably the 2010s at least, but hopefully we'll be able to stick with games even in like the 90s. So like a game like Street Fighter 2, sorry, is a game I want to play. Another game that I think would be fun to play is like something like Mario Kart or like things like that. But I think our shows will be formatted more in the way they were today, with playing a bunch of different games rather than trying to understand a single game, because it's a lot easier for us to be experts in like Overwatch after playing 200 hours or however much we played. It's a lot harder when it's like we're picking up Street Fighter 2 for the first time ever, perhaps, because unfortunately even if these games are still popular today and still run by people like as we can see here, that doesn't mean we know how to play those games and know their nuances quite as well. But have a fantastic day, audience.
Catch us next week.